How's it going, everybody? It feels like I haven't seen you in so long. I actually haven't done any readings in quite some time. Or I've done readings on the side, but no general readings. I was in a car accident last year that really kind of put me down for a while. I had to get surgery and all kinds of craziness, and so I've missed you guys, and I feel like I feel like, I haven't seen anybody for a very long time, and so I'm just super happy to be back in the swing of things. And with that in mind, I'm actually going to do things a little bit differently. I feel like, why not give you guys a whole well-rounded view of how the month's going to look. So the way I'm going to do things now is I'm going to give you just a very brief, understanding of the major things that are going on in the month. So the new moon, the full moon, and any kind of astrological events going on. And then I'm going to pull cards for love, health, and wealth. So you get a very well-rounded idea of the best things that you can do in a month for yourself to get the full benefit and to hopefully be able to use that energy and move forward. Oh my Aries. All right, so it looks like you guys have all kinds of stuff going on. You've been really, really busy. You have a lot of goals. You're in this kind of go get it done mindset. But I also feel like some of you on some days just feel like you're completely fried. Like you just need a break. You need to just kind of get away from it all, before you just quit it all, right? And on top of that, there's this sense of, needing to revamp. Yourself, like, having that self-care. So as much as I hate to admit it, from what I've read in your astrology this month, the best thing you can do for yourself is plan and do some goals. Okay, and I know that sounds like a total snooze fest, like so boring. However, I'm telling you, because you're so out of the box and your mind is just kind of going and it's creating and it's just really quick this month and you already think that way, it's going to be much more conducive to you if you put your energy into just kind of fine-tuning and planning some of your goals, whether it's financial and just getting that budget together, done, to the side. And getting, your goals together as maybe just the most important things, whether it's places you want to go this year or whether it's, business, or work goals that you want to accomplish this year, or whatever your accomplishments and your goals are, just write them down. Get it in a somewhat organized manner out of your head so that you have it down. And then you'll have, even though you want to just kind of keep moving forward, the more you plan, the more you're going to realize it's really helped you build a foundation that is much more easy to pursue rather than trying to just kind of pursue it as you go or organize as you go. So that was the biggest message that came out for you guys for this month. And so just kind of keep that in mind, but also allow yourself to schedule in enough time to take care of you. A bubble bath, a getaway, whatever you need to do for you, make sure you're doing that this month as well. Some meditation, some journaling, however that resonates, okay? So we're going to look at love first and see what's going on. When I did read about love, I do see where it asks to kind of do a slowdown in relationships. Really, with retrograde coming, give yourself an opportunity to just kind of step back and take plenty of time, to kind of pursue what it is that you want. So, excuse me, we have stepping outside of your comfort zone. So you could be, entangling yourself with maybe a person or in, scenarios that you're not exactly used to, or that might be something a little bit different than your typical. But I do get the feeling like that the message is, to try it out, to give it an opportunity, even if it's something that you are unsure about. I feel like there might be something that, I feel like there might be something that you could be surprised about. And I got a message from both. So it could be surprised, like, wow, this person really does, they're it for me. And on the other hand, for some of you, I feel like this person, there's going to be kind of this recognition that it's really not the person for you. And so I really apologize for giving you that message, because it makes it very hard, especially for me, to know how to pursue the next question. But trust your intuition on that one, guys. And, right now, I think that's why that slow down suggestion is taking place, because it gives you plenty of opportunity, especially with all of the messages that came in for retrograde and all of the new moon and full moon messages about slowing down and just kind of reassessing, not settling for less than what you deserve, but also not making things such a high expectation or such a high, mark to reach that you can't ever be happy. And so just maybe organize that a little bit and make a little bit more of a practical plan. and then see how you progress from there, but slowly. There's no reason to rush into anything, and if that's what's going on, then that's a big, that's a red flag to tell you to just kind of whoa it up a little bit. Let's get you a message here on how to approach it. You leave your unique stamp of love on everything that you do. So you express that individuality, and if you're really not able to do that in a confident way, then there is kind of a problem. So with regards to love, if you are able to speak your truth, if you're able to be you and feel like, you are in a position where you're like a better version of yourself, then this is a really great position for you. If you are ignoring that that's not there, then you need to remember that, especially being an Aries, your individuality is super, super important. And on the other hand, if you've got a great thing going, but it's a little bit different than what you're used to, this is where that step outside of your comfort zone and don't let illusions, run the show here. Give it some time, step back a little bit, and give both sides an opportunity to express themselves individually so that you can make a fair judgment on how you want to pursue this, or how you don't maybe want to pursue it. Okay, but I would say this is a good month to take a step back and just look at stuff from a kind of bird's eye perspective, and don't jump into anything by any means when it comes to love. Okay, for health here, and if you want to look into your personal situation, by all means, feel free to reach out. There's a discount for reaching out from a reading. And on that one, I hate to go any further into it because there are mixed messages. If I had a little bit more time, I would do different ones, but a lot of the times I'm trying to help those who are in the relationship, or for those who aren't in a relationship, kind of where that's headed. Anyway, no wonder it's so complicated. So we've got forgiveness and divine wisdom, the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, this whole region here, which is really about listening to that inner self, but also feeling, whether or not you have that sense of drive and that sense of confidence and integrity in what you're doing, and that feeling, that freedom, and that, centeredness, to be able to move forward and to know what to do, and then feel good and confident about the decisions that you're making, as well as being able to read the situation effectively. And so health-wise, I feel like in both of those regards, you are actually doing quite well. I don't feel like there's any blockages necessarily, but I do feel like you're using these, and these are going to be important ones for the month. So feeling like you have got, that centeredness, and that you've got that drive, and that's important, but it can also, that individuality and that strength that you've got can definitely hinder sometimes when how you're projecting off to other people. So just keep that in mind. I feel like you're very confident, you're very driven this month, but it could make people, it could come with a sense of individuality where I want to just do my thing over here. But don't forget about your other peeps on the side, because then, you don't want them to feel like they're on the side, or on the back burner there. Communication is key. So expressing yourself is going to be a great way and a huge help for you to get people to understand where you are with things without having to necessarily, explain it later when their feelings are hurt, or when the drama arises, or whatever. You're just trying to stay a step ahead of any issues. So with that regard, just I would highly recommend letting your person know if you've got a lot going on, just, hey, I'm going to be doing this over here, and I just want you to know ahead of time so that you don't think I'm blowing you off, or whatever, because it could come off. It's such a confidence that it could come off as, you know what I'm trying to say. It could just come off wrong, and so just avoid all of that as best you can. And so that's the best way to do it. Just communicate what's going on, and it's going to create a better opportunity for you to maintain this energy than having to set that to the side and have to deal with stress or anxiety or anything that can just throw you off. Okay, so that's the best way health-wise that you can handle things this month. Now, as far as wealth goes, and money, Don't let your pride get in the way. It looks like somebody might be asking for some help this month from you. And it does look like you're not really interested. You might be a little bit suspicious of like what's going on or why they need money. So if you know for a fact of kind of what it is that they're wanting, or that it's for good reason or for good purpose, you know, try not to let pride or ego get in the way. You know, definitely support when you can. If you know that it's for something that is not going to matter, I probably wouldn't, you know, I would look into it a little bit, and then communicate what it is you're going to do and why you're going to do it. But if it's just simply because you just don't want to do it, I might just kind of reconsider. Let's see what the suggested action to take is. So express love, and you know, if maybe this is like a solid rule that you just don't help out friends, or you don't help out family, or whatever. I am seeing that there's an exception to make. Like, say they're trying to renew like a business license, or some type of certification, or something that's really important to their, you know, well-being. You know, in that situation, I generally do. I personally try to help out. I see that Spirit's saying, hey, it's okay to help out in this particular situation. It'll come back as good karma for you. So if you do get someone reaching out for some assistance, I feel like as long as it's not for anything, you know, obviously negative or bad, then maybe consider, you know, supporting. Yeah, and being able to compromise if the end result is love. So especially if this is a situation where it's like, listen, I don't mind helping you, but you've got to pay me back. We've got to have a deal on this, and we got to stick to it. That makes you feel better. It makes them held up their end of the responsibility, end of the bargain, and moving forward like that. So as far as monies go, I do see that there's some stuff going on there as far as getting some help. Let's see if there's any more messages for any other like groups of people here. If you need to go and like ask for money from somebody, I would certainly just communicate, you know, with these people. Don't step away and let your pride get in the way where you don't want to ask or you're not willing to ask. Certainly take a second to just kind of be resilient and, you know, approach them communicatively and just be honest and take action. And people will be willing to work with you if you're willing to express it and deliver it in that way. Okay, so I hope that helps for a different group of you who might be in that situation. So if you need to look at your stuff, personally, let me know. I'm always willing, you know, to help, and I'm always here to answer questions and to help the best way that I can. So we're starting off the year with a super, super powerful and important type of new moon. It actually happened on the 2nd, and it's a really great time for a lot of ideas, a lot of stuff flowing in the mind, a lot of need for balance, a lot of need for grounding. So if you guys aren't doing, I'm going to shuffle while I talk here. If you guys aren't doing grounding, I would highly recommend doing, you know, your 15 minutes of some type of meditation that you resonate to in the mornings. I can certainly put one in the box below just so that you can have, you know, one if you don't have any in mind. But 15 minutes of an abundance meditation will not only get you grounded, but it'll get your head in the right space for the day. Even myself, I can't believe how many times I notice my teeth are grinding, or I just have so much energy, you know, built up that I haven't called back. So, you know, having a morning meditation just to kind of get your mind in the right space, and then in the evening, have another one. Even if it's 5 minutes, you guys, just to give yourself some space and some time to call back all the energy that you've dispersed throughout the day. Give yourself some time to really ground out that energy into those roots, into the ground, or whatever you resonate to, and get that white light energy going. You know, white light energy from the top of your head, split it all the way down into a bubble around your body. You know, just giving yourself that moment to just kind of renew and refresh is about the best thing that you can do for yourself in any given day, especially if you are, you know, out there all over the place talking to a lot of people. So that's where that was. So the new moon, it encourages us to think about old patterns and ways of structuring certain aspects of our lives. In 2021, we really continue to work on that, you know, not devaluing ourselves, but really embracing our values. This particular new moon, well, typical new moons, you would want to initiate things, but this particular one encourages us to navigate this time more than initiate. So you're going to be thinking about how you're practicing your presence, how your awareness is, monitoring your emotions, and deciding really what stays or goes. That kind of pulls us into the full moon. So, you know, we had a lot of things going on in 2021, and this particular full moon is reflecting, and this is going through the 17th is the full moon, just so you guys know, and it's in Cancer, so it can be a little finicky with the emotions, but it does reflect this month. It could bring up feelings and some emotional sensitivities. For others, it could be more irritability than anything. So if you're aware or you notice, your irritations or somebody else's, just pay more attention to maybe bringing a little bit of tenderness and some of that light touch to the situation, as opposed to, fighting the grain or bringing any kind of further intensity into the mix. If you're really aware, you'll notice that there's kind of an ambitious pull towards your purpose, towards power, towards deeper desires, towards goals that you've set. And you can also add some, just some of that gentleness to the load that you've got, because sometimes it can be overwhelming, okay? Excuse me, sorry. And then the Mercury retrograde. Sorry to be the bearer of that one. That one is taking place on the 14th of January. It is going to be in Capricorn and Aquarius, which is interesting. It kind of makes, I'm a little curious on this one. I'm actually a Capricorn and an Aqua cusp baby, so I'm kind of curious on how this one's going to go. I don't know if I should be scared or excited, to be honest with you. But this one is going to let us revise the story that ended in December. So if you've noticed, there's actually kind of a similarity of this, concept and these lessons and tools and things that we're being asked to do between all three of the new moon, the full moon, and the retrograde. So the story that ended in December, it's going to be an opportunity to continue to reflect on that. You're going to have, this opportunity to just kind of reassess, who and what you align with. And it is a slowdown. Remember, guys, it's a slowdown in communication, transportation, sometimes in technology. And so stay a step ahead if you can. If you are able to get things, checked out or deal with things that maybe are some loose ends, as much as possible, just deal with known issues so they don't become bigger ones later. Again, a time to reframe. It's an opportunity to handle anything that you didn't really, maybe, if it wasn't taken care of, again, like loose ends, maybe just be sitting on the back burner. Maybe you just need to look at something as a second look, or maybe you need to edit, whatever's in the goal or whatever's in the plan. But the more open and the more optimistic you are to that, the more confident you're going to have going into 2022. And so I would highly recommend just giving yourself a moment to ask yourself, are you holding yourself back in any way, or are you opening up, to a whole new ball game, which is kind of the goal that you set. I hope that helps. I hope you have a fantastic month. I am so happy to be back. Feel free to reach out if you're interested in a reading, or if you're interested in a Reiki healing, whatever I can do for you. I have all that information down below, and there's a little list right here as far as some of the things that I offer. So much love. I will talk to you next month. Bye, guys.